What is up, everybody? This is WWE's Monday Night Raw Explained, the video series where we take a look at some of the major events from tonight's WWE programming. We try to take a look at how some of these things may affect future storylines, how some of these characters may be being portrayed moving forward, and how things are starting to take shape as we look forward towards WrestleMania. I'm assuming you're a fan of wrestling because you're already here. You should hit that subscribe button. Come check me out. I try to post as much as I can on this channel, sometimes every day. And things are about to get really exciting in wrestling. So come check out some of this content. I guarantee you're going to find something you like. Hit that subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Now let's talk wrestling. I think the most impactful thing from tonight is the fact that Bron Breakker is out on injury. It sounds like he's going to be out for a while. It sounds like this isn't a small injury. Apparently, he got injured while working out. I mean, the dude is swole. The dude's a beast. I'm sure he doesn't work out with, little small weights. So, yeah, apparently he got injured while working out. Apparently, it's going to take him out for a while. That's a very big bummer. Not just for him, obviously for him. Like, I hope the dude gets better soon. I hope that everything goes well. It does sound like he's going to need some surgery, which, I mean, I just hope that he's able to recover. Like, wrestling aside, I hope that his health is great after all this. I hope that nothing huge or impactful comes out of this for him. I hope that he's able to recover and be his same old self, again, aside from wrestling, be his same old self, healthy and good to go as soon as possible. But it sucks for the wrestling side as well because, yeah, WWE was definitely starting to push Bron Breakker. We were starting to get some developments with Bron Breakker's storyline. The whole thing with the Masked Man was obviously some sort of major storyline for him that was leading towards WrestleMania. We did still see that Masked Man today, but it was definitely a pivot. It definitely feels like a pivot for WWE. The vision is just, it's falling apart, right? First Seth Rollins, now this. So Bronson Reed, Austin Theory, and Logan Paul is just not a main event staple. I'm sorry, they are just not stable. I always get those words confused, but they are just not a main event faction of just them three with Paul Heyman. So I do feel like there will be someone else coming in and joining this faction. I don't think that they're gonna stay with these three members. I like the idea of Bronson Reed taking the reins and becoming the new Infactu leader of the Vision, but I don't think that that's where WWE would go. Maybe they bring in Brock Lesnar as like the leader of this faction that is Paul Heyman's guy. Paul Heyman came out with Brock Lesnar at the Rumble. You guys know my feelings with Brock Lesnar, not my favorite person in the world, but I do see WWE doing something like that to kind of pivot with this storyline. But yeah, huge bummer overall. I don't know. I feel like definitely the Masked Man thing was supposed to be something to do with Seth Rollins, right? Whether it be Seth Rollins or Seth Rollins like creating a new faction. One thing that was clear tonight is Logan Paul and Austin Theory were both out there when the Masked Man came out. The Masked Man actually attacked Austin Theory during a triple threat match between Penta, LA Knight, and Austin Theory. Then Logan Paul came out from the back to chase down this Masked Man. So I feel like this was WWE's way of shutting down those rumors that it was either Austin Theory or Logan Paul. So it doesn't seem like that's what they're doing with the storyline, but I'm still interested in this. I'm interested to see how WWE will pivot, but huge bummer. LA Knight did end up winning that match, so LA Knight has now qualified to the Elimination Chamber. I don't think he's winning the Chamber, but good on WWE for giving the guy this opportunity. LA Knight also, there was a video package for LA Knight tonight where he essentially talked about his entire mission was going to be to bring down the Vision. So maybe he's the one who put extra weight on Bron Breakker's bar while he was lifting, because they're definitely falling like flies. Who knows? Maybe this Masked Man is an LA Knight faction. That'd be pretty interesting as well. But interested to see where WWE will go with all this. I worry because so close to WrestleMania, things are definitely starting to take a turn. The other Elimination Chamber qualifier that we had tonight was Rhea Ripley defeating Ivy Nile and Lyra Valkyria. Because, yeah, of course, Rhea Ripley's going to win that triple threat match. That's kind of obvious. Of course, like I said, of course, Rhea Ripley's going to qualify. There was another segment tonight during a commercial break where Bailey and Lyra were getting interviewed. The way that WWE does those commercial break interviews, and Bailey was talking about how she was going to qualify to the chamber because she was taken out before WrestleMania last year, and somebody needs to represent their tag team, and WWE doesn't respect their tag team. Adam Pearce doesn't respect both Lyra and Bailey. And honestly, Bailey just deserves so much better in all this, right? Bailey there doesn't have much of a storyline going on. They were a part of the tag team scene for a bit. It seems like they've pivoted out of the tag team scene. Bailey just isn't on TV very often. She doesn't have very many matches. It just sucks because Bailey is an awesome worker. Bailey is one of WWE's top talents, and she's not being treated as such. You see how Becky Lynch is being pushed out there as the IC champion. You see some of her storylines out there, and Bailey just doesn't get the same respect, right? As being one of the four horsewomen, she is honestly the fourth out of the four. So it really sucks, and I hope that WWE figures something out with Bailey because, yeah, like I said, she just deserves better. Speaking of Becky Lynch, she started off tonight's show. So she was coming in. They were doing the whole thing where everyone's coming in from the parking lot, and the cameras on CM Punk as he's walking in. AJ Lee is waiting for him inside, I guess. So they pan out. AJ Lee is there. The crowd cheers, and then they pan out a little bit more, and Becky Lynch is walking right behind them. So Becky Lynch then goes to the ring. She cuts a fiery promo talking about how she saw AJ Lee in the back, and now she's upset and WWE owes her an explanation and blah, 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 blah. She then gets interrupted by AJ Lee. They have a back and forth. These two just have great chemistry, honestly. Becky Lynch and AJ Lee just need to work together more, right? I mean, obviously, WWE has been pushing this story for a while, but they are just built to work with each other. They both just have this charisma that they feed off of each other with. Becky Lynch is a heel. I You guys know I prefer a heel Becky Lynch. I think that a heel Becky Lynch is the best Becky Lynch, and AJ Lee just playing that like annoying like little sister act with Becky Lynch is just so entertaining and it's so good. They did end up setting up a match for the Elimination Chamber between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee for the IC title. I don't know. I don't think that this will be when AJ Lee dethrones Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch will probably end up doing some sort of shenanigans to get disqualified from this match. So she'll lose, but not lose the title. And I do think that they will end up eventually having a match at WrestleMania for this title. And that will be when AJ Lee gets the win. AJ Lee was a part of several things here tonight as well, because we also had Natty taking on Maxine Dupree. That match was very short lived because it ended in a double count out after Natty put Maxine Dupree on the announce table. She put the sharpshooter on her. She refused to let go. Referee counted to 10, and that's how the match ended. She refused to let go. AJ Lee then came out to save her friend. She did say that during that beginning promo. She's like, I wasn't here to fight. I'm just here to support my friend, Maxine Dupree. So she came out to help Maxine, and Natty ran off. Maxine Dupree is walking out, being carried out by a referee and AJ Lee. And then out of nowhere, here comes Becky Lynch. She throws AJ Lee against the ring post and just kind of leaves her there, right? So definitely adding fuel to the fire of this whole feud between them two. So I like the way it's going. I enjoy having these two together. I do think that this is a long-winded storyline, and it hurts the story when AJ Lee isn't there every week, and it is what it is. But she's not there every week, and the story's very start stop because of that. But I do think that this is a story that will lead all the way to WrestleMania. I do think that the way that the story ends is by AJ Lee taking the title away from Becky Lynch, and I don't think that that happens before WrestleMania. We got to talk about this Javon Evans and original Grande Americano versus the Americano goons. What is it? Rayo and Bravo, I think it is. Wow, what an amazing ending to that match. If you're going to look at anything from tonight's show, if you want to go look at a match, if you're like, I have 10 seconds, let's look at a highlight from tonight's match, go look at the way that this match ended. Because, I don't know, either Rhea or Bravo, I don't know the difference between the two guys. One of them gets on the turnbuckle to, I don't know, do a nothing move, I guess, on the OG Grande Americano. He moves out of the way. But then at the same time, Javon Evans is jumping off of an opposite turnbuckle and catches in midair for the most amazing looking cutter that I've ever seen in my entire like Randy Orton would be so proud of Javon Evans. This was awesome. Yeah, of course, Javon Evans and OG Grande Americano got the win there. Afterwards, there was kind of a brawl that broke out between the new Grande Americano, the real Mexican Grande Americano, and the OG Americano, the American Grande Americano. And I like the way that Corey Graves kind of explained this, right? If you're north of the border, the OG Grande Americano seems to be the fan favorite. He seems to be the good guy. If you look at AAA, this story is also bleeding into AAA. So if you're not watching that, you definitely should. The new Grande Americano is definitely the face there, and OG Grande Americano is a heel. So I like the way that this story is kind of shaping out because, yeah, you have, depending on what you're watching and who you are, they're both good guys and they're both bad guys. So really interesting there. I do think that this is going to end in a match. These guys are going to have several matches. They're definitely going to have matches in AAA, but I do think that we're going to get a WrestleMania match between Grande Americano versus other Grande Americano. And one of these two guys is going to get unmasked. And I hate to see it, but I've been asking for this match and I've been asking for the story, and I love the way that it's shaping up. We also had Liv Morgan back today. She had an awesome back and forth. Actually, Dominic Mysterio had the awesome back and forth with Stephanie Vaquer. So Liv was talking about she wasn't sure who she was going to pick, right? She's still doing that whole thing. We all know she's going to pick Rock or Stephanie Vaquer, but she's still doing that whole back and forth of like, I don't know if I'm picking Stephanie or Jade. And Stephanie Vaquer came out and she's like, you know what? Choose Jade. Choose Jade, because if you choose me, I'm going to kick your ass, right? And then she cut part of her promo in Spanish where she basically said all of that, right? That she was going to kick her ass, that she's, not scared of her. And then Dominic Mysterio stepped in. Her and Stephanie Vaquer went back and forth in Spanish as well, which was really funny because the entire time Liv Morgan was like, what did she say, Dom? What did she say? And then he's like, I'm not going to tell you what she said. But then he responded in Spanish. And then Liv Morgan's like, what did you say, Dom? And then Stephanie Vaquer is like, oh, he said he was a little bitch. Great promo. The way that it ended was Liv Morgan called Stephanie Vaquer a dirty word that I will not repeat on this channel. But Stephanie Vaquer got angry and slapped the bejesus out of Dominic Mysterio. So yeah, I mean, definitely it's going to be Stephanie Vaquer against Liv Morgan at WrestleMania. But that was really interesting because then they went to the back after this, and then Dominic kind of had some words with Finn Balor, just being like, hey, dude, you're down and out, but, JD will be back soon. You guys can go after the tag team titles. Finn's like, no, I'm not done with CM Punk. I'm not done with CM Punk, which was really opportune because CM Punk was about to come out to the ring for an interview with Michael Cole, and yeah, he was interrupted by Finn Balor. Finn Balor definitely wants another match with CM Punk. Adam Pearce refused to make that match happen, but then CM Punk was like, no, like I am the champion. I call the shots here as the champion. Make that match official. And I honestly don't remember if it was official or not, but the match is definitely going to happen between CM Punk and Finn Balor in Chicago. Really cool because, as Finn Balor pointed out, they had a match in Ireland, Northern Ireland. They had a match in Ireland where CM Punk got the win. So now they're going to CM Punk's house, and Finn Balor looks to get the win. Look, this match is not going to end with a Finn Balor championship. I hate to break it to all of you Finn Balor fans out there, but this match isn't going to end with Finn Balor being the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Of course, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns is going to be the main event of WrestleMania. Of course that's going to happen. That is the big money match for WrestleMania. Who doesn't want to see that? But it's an entertaining feud to keep CM Punk busy. It's a nice little push for Finn Balor. Hopefully we can revisit it later. And maybe he can win a championship later, but he's not going to win this match. He's not going to win the title right now. But do I want to see CM Punk against Finn Balor again in Chicago? Absolutely. Give it to me. This actually isn't how I wanted to end this video, but I completely forgot to talk about the Usos versus Alpha Academy. Yeah, the Usos successfully defended their championship. The Usos beat Otis and Tozawa after giving a 1D to Otis. I think we all knew that this was going to happen. They're not doing what I want them to do with the Usos, which is to have Jey Uso lose a title, to have Jey Uso completely crash out, and then have some sort of pivot with his character, have some sort of new thing happen with his character. The character just feels old and like the same old thing. So I don't know. WWE just needs to get me interested, but who the hell am I, right? I'm sure everybody in that crowd was definitely eating today. So I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. But Jey Uso, like I said, Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso won that match. After this match, Jimmy Uso did, they cut a promo, and Jimmy Uso was like, look, man, yeah, we're a tag team. Great. I'm glad we won tonight, but I need you to win your qualifying match for the Elimination Chamber. I need you to go to Chicago. I need you to win your chamber match, and I need you to go and win a WWE title and be main event Jey Uso again. So I thought that was really cool, right? Just like a brotherly moment between these two guys. But I don't think that that's happening. I don't think Jey Uso's winning any chamber. I don't think Jey Uso's winning any title between now and Mania or at Mania. I don't know what WWE is planning to do with Jey Uso's title, which is why I thought that a pivot would work right now. But we'll see what Triple H has under his sleeve, though. Probably nothing, if I'm being perfectly honest. So there you have it. Those are some of the major events from tonight's Monday Night Raw. We also had an Obafemi video package. We're still trying to do that whole thing of like, oh, will Obafemi go to SmackDown? Will Obafemi go to Raw? I don't think he should choose a brand before WrestleMania. I think he should go through WrestleMania. I think he should have a match with Brock Lesnar. And I think he should go to a brand after all that is said and done. We also had a promo from Gunther where he was basically talking about the fact that he doesn't care about Dragon Lee. He doesn't want to match with Dragon Lee. That whole Dragon Lee thing is behind him now. He wants to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. He wants to win his qualifier. He wants to go to the Elimination Chamber. He wants to win his chamber match, and he wants to win a title again. So Dragon Lee is definitely going to interrupt his qualifying match and cost him that match, and then they're definitely going to have some sort of feud. Probably, I hope it's not a WrestleMania feud. I hope it's something that ends before WrestleMania, because I do think that there are more interesting things for Gunther, but I do like this for Dragon Lee. So yeah, why not? Let's push Dragon Lee. Let's see what happens. But anyway, though, since you made it this far, make sure to drop a like. Make sure to check out some of my other videos. I'm sure there's something there that you like. I post a lot on this channel, so I'm sure that there's something there that you'll like. Go check them out. Subscribe. Be a part of this community with us. Let me know in the comments if there's anything I forgot. Let me know in the comments what you think is going to happen with the Vision now. Right? Bron Breakker's gone. What are we going to do with the Vision at this point? So anyway, though, as always, until next time, have a nice day.